Once, in the age of war and wandering swords, there lived a young warrior named Wren. Wren spoke often of the future. He imagined his name whispered with respect, his skill feared by enemies, his path praised by elders. He studied stories of legendary fighters and memorized their victories. In his mind, he was already great. But when dawn came and the training yard waited, Wren delayed. He told himself tomorrow would be better. His body felt heavy. His sword needed repair. His mind wasn't ready yet. He believed that when the right feeling arrived, discipline would follow naturally. It never did. Seasons passed. Wren's vision grew sharper, more detailed, more impressive. Yet his hands remained slow. His stance stayed weak. Younger students, less thoughtful, less ambitious, began to surpass him. And slowly, painfully, Wren understood something most people learn too late. His dreams were not lifting him forward. They were keeping him still. This is not just a story about a samurai. It is a story about how the human mind works. We like to believe that desire leads to action, that clear goals create effort, that ambition naturally becomes discipline. But often the opposite happens. When we imagine success vividly, the brain feels rewarded before the work is done. We mistake planning for progress, thinking for becoming. The mind relaxes, as if the future has already arrived. This is the hidden danger of ambition without movement. Wren was not lazy because he lacked dreams. He was lazy because his dreams were too comfortable. Philosophers have long warned about this trap. The Stoics believed that imagining outcomes without preparing for hardship weakens the soul. Buddhist teachers warn that attachment to future identities creates suffering in the present. The samurai understood this deeply. They knew that waiting for motivation is a form of surrender. Because motivation is not stable. It rises and falls with mood, weather, confidence, and comfort. If your actions depend on how you feel, your life will always be controlled by chance. Wren believed discipline would arrive once he felt ready. But readiness is not a feeling. It is a result. Centuries earlier, a swordsman named Miyamoto Musashi lived by a different rule. Musashi did not wait for inspiration. He built his life around repetition so small it felt almost meaningless. One strike, one step, one form, every day. He understood something simple but brutal. Greatness is not created in moments of intensity, but in stretches of boredom endured without complaint. The sword becomes sharp not through excitement, but through friction. The samurai trained when they were tired, when they were bored, when nothing in them wanted to begin. Training was not an event. It was an identity. They did not ask, "Do I feel like practicing?" They asked, "Who do I choose to be today?" Modern philosophy confirms this idea. Action creates belief far more reliably than belief creates action. We do not become disciplined and then act. We act, and discipline slowly forms around us. Motivation does not start the fire. Movement does. Think of walking through fog. You don't wait for clarity before taking the first step. Clarity appears because you stepped forward. The samurai expressed this through Kaizen, the path of small, continuous improvement. Not dramatic change, not heroic effort, just progress that refuses to stop. Imagine a student who feels lazy every morning, yet practices one simple movement before sunrise. Just one. No intensity, no passion, only commitment. Others laugh. They say it's too small to matter. But days pass, then weeks. The body adapts. The mind resists less. What once required effort becomes automatic. And this is the secret. Small actions repeated daily reshape identity. The student no longer relies on motivation. The habit carries him forward. Meanwhile, those waiting for inspiration remain stuck at the beginning, endlessly preparing for a start that never arrives. This is why philosophy warns us about grand plans. A massive goal can paralyze the mind. Its distance makes every step feel pointless. So we delay, we refine, we get ready. But preparation without practice is just procrastination dressed as intelligence. The ancient teachers knew this. Yagyu Munenori, advisor to shoguns, once taught that a sword kept waiting for perfect conditions will rust in its sheath. Life works the same way. We fear starting imperfectly. We fear effort without immediate reward. We fear discovering we are not as capable as we imagined. So we wait. But discipline is not the absence of fear. It is movement despite it. True strength is not acting when conditions are ideal. It is acting when conditions resist you. The samurai did not conquer laziness by forcing emotion. They conquered it by removing choice. They committed first and let feelings catch up later. This is the lesson Wren finally learned. He stopped planning. He stopped imagining. He stopped negotiating with his mood. He chose one small action and performed it every day, no matter how insignificant it felt. And slowly, his life began to move, not because he felt inspired, but because he refused to wait. Philosophy teaches us that freedom is not doing what we feel like doing. Freedom is doing what we have chosen to value, even when emotion disagrees. As the warriors once believed, I am not ruled by my feelings. I am shaped by my actions. If you are ambitious but lazy, the solution is not more motivation. It is fewer excuses, smaller steps, daily commitments that do not ask permission from your mood, because the power to act without waiting is the power to shape your life.